welcome back to the channel. Things have been crazy busy at my real world job, but I'm back and we're keeping this thing going. So today we're starting a new series where we're going to start looking at budget Android phones, and we're going to start off with the Google Pixel 5a. Here's the deal. This channel is beginning to generate a little bit of revenue, and so I'm pouring any dollar made off of ad revenue back into the channel, and that's going to allow me to pick up, a couple phones here or there. Now, I'm not anywhere in flagship phone territory yet. I'd love to be reviewing the latest Samsung device or the latest, I think the Nothing device that just came out, although that's more of a budget device. But I'm in the world where I can pick up some budget phones, especially when we look for really good bargains. So we're going to talk about the Pixel 5a today, and one thing that I have learned is that this $200 phone, and we'll talk about how I picked this up for $200 here in just a little bit, is just as good as my iPhone 13 Pro Max, which cost me $1,200. So this phone is $1,000 less than the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And right up top, I'm going to tell you, if you're looking for a budget phone, you definitely need to check out the Google Pixel 5a. They're just about to release the Google Pixel 6a later this month, so you got to know the prices on these things are going to drop. And this thing has been out less than a year, so it's still a viable phone. It's going to be supported for at least 2 more years, so definitely look for some great deals like I found on the Google Pixel 5a. And if you need a phone and you're looking for a budget phone, not wanting to spend that iPhone money, you definitely need to check out this device. So let me explain why. First, we have the specs. As I said before, this phone's not quite a year old. It was released in August of 2021. There's Gorilla Glass 3 on the front with an aluminum frame around the back. It's IP67 dust and water resistant, up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. The screen is a beautiful OLED HDR. It's 6.34 inches in diameter. For context, the iPhone 13 Pro Max has a 6.7 inch screen. The iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 Pro have a 6.1 inch screen. So this phone's coming in right in between the iPhone Pro, the iPhone 13 regular, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max in terms of size. One of the things this phone has really made me rethink is because I've been a big phone guy for a while now. Since the XS Max, I think I've bought the largest size iPhone that they've come out with every year. But this has me rethinking that large screen size because of the curved edges around this phone, and how thin it is. This is a super thin phone, a nice lightweight phone as well. This thing just disappears in my pocket, and it has a great feel in the hand. Those curved edges, I know I love the look of an iPhone 13 with the flat edges and kind of that that design aesthetic that it has, and that's great and all, but when you talk about comfort, ergonomics, usage, the thinness of this phone, the curved edges, the feel in the hand, the size, it just they've gotten a lot right in the Pixel 5a. And obviously when you throw it in at the price point that it's at, and right now, it retails for $450. I got a really good deal with $250 off. We'll talk about it in a minute. But once that 6A rolls out, this price is going to drop. So if you can get this for under $300, let's say, I think you got a great phone on your hand, and the ergonomics on this thing are just spectacular. Has a mid-range Snapdragon processor. We'll talk more about this in a second, but it performs just fine. I'm not experiencing any lag on this phone. When I compare it to my iPhone, they're pretty much equals. I really can't tell a difference in terms of performance. Now, I'm not the most intense phone user, so I will throw that out there. I'm sure there are people, professionals, that are using their phone 8, 10, 12 hours a day that might be able to tell the difference. For me, just your average user, I'm not noticing any sort of a performance difference. The screen does have a 60 hertz refresh rate, and that is one area where I do notice a little bit of a difference. The iPhone 13 Pro Max has a higher refresh rate on it, and you do notice that going through the user interface or apps loading or playing games does feel smoother on that iPhone. The Google Pixel 5a comes with a 128 gigabyte hard drive with 6 gigs of RAM. Both wide and ultra wide cameras on the back shoot up to 4K at 30 or 60 frames per second. It has an 8-megapixel selfie camera and a hole punch cutout on the corner of the front screen. It has fast charging with an 18-watt USB Type-C charging brick, and there's a fingerprint reader on the back of the phone. Super fast, easy to unlock the phone. I will say one difference, I'm transparent with you, right? These are my personal thoughts. And I've been an iPhone user for a long time. I've also been an Android user for a while in the past. So I had the Galaxy Note 4. My favorite phone of all time was the Google Nexus 5. I loved that phone. That all-time favorite phone over any phone I've ever had was the Google Nexus 5. I've actually thought about going back and buying one. You can still buy those online. They probably run horribly today, and they don't have the most recent software update, but still, it'd be cool just to have that from a nostalgia standpoint. But I will say this, I do prefer the Face ID of the iPhone, and I think it's only because I've gotten used to it. So I like to lift my phone up, I look at it, and it unlocks, versus I have to turn it around, put my finger on it, and then it unlocks. So it's a small gripe, but I do prefer the Face ID. Maybe if the fingerprint scanner was on the front of the screen, that'd be a little bit different too. I don't know. But the fingerprint scanner works great, super snappy. So there you go. Hit that, and it opens up right away. Do it again one more time. Touch it, and you're right into the phone. Now, one difference here that I do love is it has the always-on display. So no matter what, day or night, I can glance over my phone and at least get the time, get the weather, see what notifications are hitting it. So I love the always-on display that you get with Android. And this video really isn't going to talk about the differences between Android or iOS. It's more about the phone itself, but I might do a follow-up video where I kind of compare Android. There's a few things that I really like about Android. I love some of the animations you get. I love how Gmail works on Android, how Outlook works on Android. It feels like some of the apps can do a little bit more within the Android sphere rather than iOS kind of locks things off a little bit more. But one thing that I don't quite like, and this may also be, again, because I've been using iPhone for quite a while, is the notifications. They seem way too complex to be able to manage and go in and change all the settings for notifications. So I haven't gotten used to that part of Android again yet. Another thing I love about Pixel 5a is the fact that the power button is on the same side of the phone as the mute rockers. I watch a lot of YouTube videos or a lot of movies on my phone, or I play games on my phone as well. Not as often, but I'm watching a lot of videos. And on the iPhone, your power button is on the opposite side as the volume rockers. I like having them on the same side because I know that this side over here is completely without buttons, and I don't have to worry about where I'm placing my fingers to rest the phone on my thumbs most of the time. I'm not accidentally hitting the power button or accidentally hitting the volume up and down button. And so I really do like that about this phone. I will say this, it's got a slightly smaller screen. I do enjoy the big screen of the iPhone, but when I balance it with feel in the hand, fit in the pocket, thinness and lightness, I don't know. It has me really reconsidering whether I really need the biggest phone that they make out there. Can I get by with this size of phone? I've spent hours on this thing watching YouTube, and I really haven't missed anything in terms of the big screen size. It's been just fine for me. So the big question is this phone powerful enough to get any amount of work, media consumption, or gaming done? I've not felt any slowness in any of the apps I use compared to the iPhone. Everything, as I said before, has run smoothly. It's run just fine. I haven't noticed any sort of an issue. The screen is beautiful. It has an OLED HDR panel. It's super inky blacks and bright, colorful graphics. The screen on this phone is top notch. Also, the battery on this phone has gotten me through a full day of usage. Now, I will say this, I'm not an intensive user during the day. Most of my usage comes at night. I'm on the computer most of the day, so my phone is sitting down on the side. I'm looking over for notifications and things of that nature, but I'm not doing a lot on my phone during the daytime. But at night is really where I'm really, watching YouTube, scrolling through social media, checking my, email, getting work done, things of that nature. Haven't had any issues with battery life on this phone. It works just fine. So the big thing for me also is the camera module. So this is the Pixel camera module that everybody has said is the best camera on a cell phone or on a mobile phone that you can get. And so I've always been interested in how good is this camera. And I'm not, again, not a photographer. I feel like I'm having a lot of disclaimers in this video, but what I do want to say is I feel like when I try to compare iPhone versus Pixel, can I tell a difference? I can. You know, they kind of treat the coloring just a little bit differently, but in terms of quality, I mean, same par. You know, I've also heard that people have kind of said the video isn't as good on the Pixel phone as it is, or a Pixel camera as it is on the iPhone. That iPhone has better video. Maybe it has better video, I'm not sure, but it's pretty close. I mean, the videos I've taken on this phone, and I'll put some examples in right here, the videos have been great. I haven't had any issue with the videos or the microphones or anything related to recording footage or taking photos. It's all been top notch. So for $200, you're getting one of the best camera modules you can get out there. Or really for $450, but if you can find a deal, get that under $400, you're getting one of the best cameras that you can buy on the market right now. Anyway, that's all I got for the Pixel 5a. Those were my thoughts on this phone. I hope this helps you in your purchasing decision. You know, one other thing as I look at the device here, you do also get a 3 millimeter? You get an audio jack. So if you have headphones that have, a traditional headphone jack on the end of it, you do get a connection point for that. Now I use Bluetooth on all my headphones, so it's not an issue for me, but that if you're interested in that or you need that. And also, I love that it's on the top of the phone. I hate that you have to plug in your headphones to the bottom of the phone on the iPhone. It needs to be on the top of the phone so that you can set it down. Like if you're working out on a treadmill, you want to be able to set your phone down upright instead of having to turn it down because you have the headphones plugged into the bottom of your phone. So that's another added bonus here. So again, I think the key that as I'm researching kind of budget Android devices and I'm looking for my next buy, which I've got another one on the way, I'll talk about here in a second, the key is looking for that deal. So I picked up the Samsung Galaxy A53. I think that might be their leading budget device. It's normally $450. I actually picked it up for $350, so $100 off just this week on Amazon Prime Day. So are you always going to be able to find that deal? No, but I think the key is if you're looking for a budget device, you also want to find a budget or a good deal for that device. And so if you can pair those two things up, you can get a really great phone for a really, really low price. So we'll be taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy A53 in an upcoming video. So if you don't want to miss that video, definitely subscribe down below so that you can see that in your feed, when it comes up. So I appreciate you watching this video. I hope this helped answer some questions for you about the Google Pixel 5a. If it did, great. Leave me a comment. If you have any other questions, let me know down below in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you watching. Peace.